BassResinator here. I just got this Axolotl mold in, and it's kind of on the shaky side because I don't know. I hope that those legs come out. I hope that when the resin gets in there that this gets weighed down a little bit, because it's acting kind of wonky on me. But I'm gonna put some eyes in him with UV resin, and I've got some eyes that are somebody wrote on one of my things, I'm glad that you're trying to make them, your reptiles and amphibians, seem like real, but sometimes those animals have round irises, or that black area, the pupil, and that is true when they're in low light conditions, but when they come out into the light, they go into the little squinty things. These guys are always underwater. It's a salamander that never comes out of the water. Most salamanders start off in the water as amphibians. Their eggs hatch in the ground and underwater, and they come out and they swim around as a tadpole stage type of thing, and then they eventually come out and they go back and forth into the water. And not these guys. They just stay underwater. So I've got some deep water eyes. That little black area. And hopefully I can get them to be in the right position. So this mold is making it difficult. So I'm going to put some UV resin in there. I'll show you what I'm doing with one. I don't think I need to sit here and battle the whole time on screen. I did mark, because these have sticky on the back of them. I did mark which way that pupil is headed, so I'm going to try and get it to where it'll look like an amphibian, because salamanders are amphibians. If it would come off, that would be nice. It's just wanting to hang on this toothpick. Get off. Get off. Okay. I will cure this way, and then I will cure it from the outside. This is kind of a strange looking creature. Newts, salamanders, they all have that stage where they have these funny looking gill things hanging off their little flaps off of the side of their head. These guys do too. Well, I'm here. I might as well just go ahead and do it. Keep you in the loop. That's really hard to tell. I don't know if it's going to matter that much. Which way that's actually going. This mold just got released by Let's Resin, and so I'm hoping it looks really cute and pretty. I'm just hoping I can make it look as original as possible. Now, if you look at pictures of these guys, they're really on the only a face a mother could love type of thing. So yeah, some of them are just really ugly. Those little gill flappy things are what have color, and then the rest of them is just this drab pallid, this real pale white, almost a mucusy color. I know that just was probably too much information, but yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, so I'm curing from the outside now. And then I haven't decided whether I want to try and get, every time I try, well, let's just put it this way. Most of the time when I try to paint in with mica powder into horns of a dragon, or horns of a some type of creature, I either go too heavy with the stuff, or it leaves a pocket that I couldn't get into. So I'm gonna have to use a tool, I think, to help me if I do the keep talking and I'm not making any sense. If I were to, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to show you in this mold. Those ear flap things are pretty deep, and if I put mica down in there, I stand the chance of having that. Let me get more light on the subject here. Sitting there wondering why it's not bright enough. There we go. Now you're cooking with gas. I have the chance of having an air pocket down there and not have it cure enough. So possibly my silicone tool to the rescue. Or the other possibility is mix up some UV resin. But then even then I'm going to have the problem of I think I'll just color it with mica powder. And now I did get a new mica that I've been wanting to use. It looked really cool. This came from Temu, and it's a reddish. It's a an intense chameleon type powder, but it's reddish maple. Not exactly the same one that Let's Resin has, but I'm thinking I want to do his I keep wanting to say mud flaps, and that's not what they are. Well, you know, I can call it whatever I want. How many of you even know how to pronounce axolotl or axolotl? If it's, they come from Mexico. It looks like an Aztec word because it's got an X in there and it ends with OTL, which is an Aztec formation of words. If it were pronounced, however, Mayan, the Maya Indians, then that X would be an SH sound, Axolotl. That's a lot easier to say, but if you're not used to doing the TL together, have fun talking to some Indians. My dad used to work with different Indian tribes in Mexico. He was a missionary down there, and he found out that there were over 140 different dialects of different tribes, intermixing languages and such. And so it was very difficult to come up with a way to communicate other than possibly Spanish. But a lot of the Indian tribes don't like Spanish because they consider that a half-breed. And so they don't like talking to half-breeds. I'm looking for a paintbrush. Where is that paintbrush? I had a small tip paintbrush. There it is. There we go. This is what I need. This little guy. Little tiny thing. So I don't know if this is supposed to be pronounced. And you know, they didn't even know these things existed for a long time because they were down in the deep. They don't come and get in the light. That's where you can tell So pale. Okay, I'm having a hard time opening this thing here because I think it's got some tape around it. So let me pause until I get it open. Look at that color. Wow. Oh, I'm going to use the stuff out of the lid first, because a lot of times that's plenty to do. Wow, those things are seriously deep. Good night, Irene. Sorry, I took him out of the picture. Look how deep that is. I mean, that's an inch deep right there. Okay, getting rid of the paintbrush. Going to makeup one of these little jobbies. Hopefully I can get down in there. Oh, come on. I can actually look about doing it from the outside. Man. This might take some time. You know, I'm not having much luck doing that either. Okay, this guy's going over to the side. And I'm going to use a different paintbrush. This one's a little bit bigger. Maybe have more success. And there's little branches off to the side. Goodness. One person said, you're not showing us what you're doing. I'm having a hard time getting an angle to where I can see what I'm doing. So if I'm not getting a good enough angle for you, I'm really sorry. But I need to be able to sort of see what I'm doing. Sort of. Looks like I'm missing some on the back side. Oh, I sort of see it now. And just push that mold a little bit. Goodness. I think I'm actually getting in there, but it's really hard to see. I think I'm going to have to use a baby wipe, though, to clean off where I'm bumping the edge a little bit. I was called upon to use my voice at our high school football game tonight. Not to announce the game, but just to... It was parents' night, so I had to announce the parents of band seniors that are in the band. They were out there with their parents, and they gave me a list of names. And then they're like, "Oh no, can you add this person?" I'm like, I didn't come out here with a pen. I'm just coming out here to read names off a list. "Oh, well, can you say her name?" And I said, "If I can remember it." But then we're dealing with mostly Hispanic names, but there are also some German type sounding names, and some oh come on, I'm thinking and talking at the same time, and it's not coming out plainly. Okay, well, I think I got those guys all done, but I'm gonna have to clean up around the edges. I just hope I don't bump the eyes enough or bump the eyes too much to where they pop loose. So yeah, pronunciation skills were in full force tonight. See, it looks like I'm getting into all of those spots, but from the top, I can't. I'm having a really hard time seeing. And I got plenty of light on the subject, but it's just, Okay, turning this way. I call this a paintbrush. It's not a paintbrush, it's a mica brush. There was this old commercial from back in the 60s and early 70s where when the cereal Life got introduced, and they said it's a cereal that's good for you. And so that meant kids weren't going to like it. And so parents put out the cereal and they said, "Eat your cereal." And the kids are looking at it like, "Yeah, right." And so the older kids say, "Hey, let's get Mikey to eat it." Mikey was the littlest one. Of course, Mikey doesn't mind. He just reaches right out and starts chewing on it. And lo and behold, he likes it. And the kids are like, "Hey, Mikey likes it." So, hey, Micah likes it. This brush. Okay, I think I have done my damage. This, I hope. Well, I know you can see the color. Come on now, get that lid on there. There we go. From this side. And you can tell that it's going to be one of those really intense chameleon colors, and that's what I'm wanting. That's what I'm wanting. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna keep this guy out here just in case. Well, I know I'm gonna need him to reach down into those recesses of the mud flaps. There was a movie that came out a long time ago, and I remember seeing it in college, called This Is Spinal Tap. And I don't know if any of you ever saw it, but they were singing a song, Big Bottom Girls. Okay, just get over it. But there's this one line in that song, talk about mud flaps, my girls got them. Okay, didn't mean to be offensive to anybody, but that made me laugh. Okay, now, don't just spread the joy, clean that up. This is my big wipes. Ooh, get that section up there. Oh, I've got some up by the eye, but I don't want to touch the eye. I'm scared of that. Don't want to go any higher up there. Or any higher up there. Mr. Tim, you're killing me. Your puns are so bad. Puns can never be bad. They're always just a play on words. So if anybody says, your dad jokes, they were always called puns until a new generation came along and called them dad jokes. Puns are the original form of humor. No one is cut down. It's just a play on words. Play on the language. Okay, now to mix up resin and then hope for the bit. Oh, he's got some up by his mouth. And the eye came out. Okay. I'll redo that eye. Not what I wanted to do, but at least it happened now instead of after I get everything in and then it falls out and we have a... Where'd the eye go? Did he go down? He went down into that. There it came out. He went down in that mud flap area. And now, doing that, it brought some more up. So let me get that. And I should have done the eyes after I did the... That was the eye that was offensive. And what do you do with an offensive eye? According to the Bible, if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it away. I hope this eye doesn't look too weird because it's got so much UV resin on it. Maybe he'll just be one of those, sorry about that, hand going in front, somebody with a lazy eye. Look up Axolotl and see how such an odd creature, and look how unattractive they might be. I'm going to try and make this one attractive. That is my plan. That's why I'm using the reddish eyes to go along with the reddish hue of the mud flaps. We're going to call them mud flaps. You know, that's probably not what they're really called, but that's our term. You are more than welcome to copy me in that usage. Okay, I'm going to mix up some resin and then come up with some ideas of what colors to use. This guy's about 1.5 inches deep. Did I get... No, that's on the outside. I thought, man, I got... Yeah, it's on the outside. Okay. I did not want to get stuff in there. I'm going to use... I don't have much left of my counterculture DIY, but this says right here 4.5 fluid ounces. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll mix up that much, and we'll see what we can get as far as colorant. I just have an idea. I've been playing around with the alcohol inks that Let's Resin has that are the metallic ones. Let me just show you what that did. I'll show you the back side of the corgi because the front side is a druzy surface. Can you see the glittery type effect? It did not spread like regular alcohol ink. No, I got another one. Here, look at this. Can you see that glitter effect? It's super cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Let's Resin alcohol ink. And what I do is I don't put it on the top and let it, because when I have done experiments or using trying to do a 3D bloom with those metallic alcohol inks, no, not good. You put it on the surface and it spreads out like alcohol ink, but then it just coats the surface with this really cool looking metallic, but it didn't, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I am experimenting with mixing it into the resin while I'm stirring it up, and so it stays, and it's really, really pretty. So, oh, here's another one, an example. Look at this. Can you see the little sparklies in here? It's like glitter. It's not glitter, but it looks like glitter. Cool, huh? Okay, I'm going to mix up some resin and get out an alcohol ink that I think I gotta get one. There are some cool ones. Okay, I'll choose one and let you see it when I come back. Okay, I haven't mixed up the resin yet, but I'm going to use champagne gold. You have to really, because you see how it's all those, the metallic is solid down there. You have to really mix it up by shaking, and shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. You put your right foot in. But this has that pallid color, notice. But it's going to be sparkly. That's what I'm going to do. It was either that or use one that's kind of a greenish. There was an olive gold, but I'm thinking this looks more like the real creature. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay, I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, the champagne gold was really pretty, but still a little on the too clear. So I added some of the pearl white metallic alcohol ink. And this is what color we come out with. It's a really pretty, shiny, I guess, champagne color. So what I'm using right now is I'm getting using a pipette to insert the resin into this guy's mud flaps. Now, some of it's not going to work because they are some go at a horizontal angle, so I'm going to do the deep one. And now he's got some drainage of that color, so I'm going to just start pouring to hopefully keep that mica in place. Yeah, this is a pretty color. I thought about coloring his toenails or toes a different color, like the mud flaps. See, that's not holding down very much right now. There's a little bit better now that it's getting a little bit of the weight of the resin coming in there. This one's got the flopsies going on. Maybe I can put something up against it. Try this mold. My little corgi mold that I made from a figurine. Here, that's holding it up a little bit better. Okay, I don't think I better go any further. It's so light it's hard to tell. I still have some left over, which is fine. I have a plan for it, and it's called Little Ducky. Little Ducky. I made a rubber ducky mold. It comes out matte color, but it's, hopefully I'll be able to use all of this up in there. A rubber ducky, a rubber duck. Doom, 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 doom. I got it over the top of the bill. Oh, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Oh, it's a long, long wait sitting here in committee. A long, long wait in the capital city. But soon I'll become a law. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill. Yep, old Saturday morning cartoons had commercials called Schoolhouse Rock. And we learned all kinds of stuff. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Hooking up words. Anyway, good stuff if you're wanting to teach the kids. You know, I still got some left. What is the deal? I have been miscalculating. And I shouldn't be able to miscalculate. I'm a dude. I should be Mr. Calculating. Oh, that was bad. I have a rubber frog that I did, but I don't think that's enough to fill him up. Well, I have a koi fish that's acting rather coy. Oh! Now this one has to have some squidgies going on because he's got that dorsal fin that's kind of deep, and see, there's some bubbles already coming up out of him. And this guy doesn't sit level. I found that out the hard way. So put a stirring stick underneath. So I got another koi over here, the smaller of the molds. And it looks like I'll have just enough to accomplish this one. And goodness, I made a mold the other day of a little hummingbird. And it doesn't use much. In fact, it didn't use enough. Come on, drop. Come out of there. Right in that wing. And I still... This is terrible. You know what? I have this mold for lily pads that is also not level. Don't remember which way it was. Champagne colored lily pads. And I have finally come to the end. Okay, now we just wait for the cure, and I will come back to you when that happens. See you then. Okay, just to show you all the lily pads came out, but they're thin, so it's really hard to see the color in them, but they do have the color. The hummingbird, same type of thing. It just looks like a crystal. The fish are deep enough that they're starting to show some color. You can really see the color in the little ducky. So now, I've never seen anybody unmold this. This is a brand new mold design from Resin. I'm going to start up here on the head. If I just can loosen stuff up. No, I better start back. Because of these mud flaps. I know there's probably a better name for them, but I like mud flaps. some mud flaps it is. Haven't seen anybody else do this. I mean, I've seen the ads that Let's Resin has for this critter, but I've not seen anybody unmold. Oh, those toes came out nice and easy. Now to get this tail, well, maybe it is supposed to start up at the head, because that tail comes down into this mold, and even though it is still a bit bendy, I think it's going to be easier to get the head out first. Okay, there's those toes. Just making sure all the toes come out. I've heard horror stories about people with those frogs that they break off the toe. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, look at that. Looks like a bit of it wasn't cured yet, right on that one toe. Is that what's happening? Oh no, it was just stuck. The resin, I mean the silicone was stuck on there. I thought, oh no, because he sure did feel cured. You can see where some of that mica that I put down in his mud flaps released and started coming out. Okay, come on, get this section right here loose. There we go. Going to mud flap number 1. The nice thing is the silicone. Boy, look at him. The silicone is really nice and soft. So this unmolding is taking longer than it should. I'm just not wanting to break anything since this is... Oh, look at those eyes. And he looks like he's got a little smile. Okay. How to get those mud flaps out. There's one part of one. This one is really long. This is the one I was having a hard time getting the powder down into. Hey! Ta-da! And no bubbles on the ends of those. Awesome. Keep grabbing this. Parchment paper, wax paper, or whatever you want to call it. I did, after I turned off, wow, I squeezed on the ends of these to make sure that I wouldn't get any. Look at those. Okay. And now the tail should come out relatively easy. I say that, it's just long. Wow. Okay, this is not doing it justice. I have to get it out in the sun. Now there's a critter for you. Okay, sun is up. I'm taking him outside. I'll be with you in just a bit. I said the sun was out, but look, big old cloud. But it is brighter out here. That is pretty. And I kept really close to the colors of the animal in the wild. However, I don't think many of these have this holographic, the intense chameleon type mud flaps, nor the shimmering effect of that metallic alcohol ink. Well, this is pretty. Okay, stills time. Thank you, subscribers. If you're thinking about getting this mold, it is a very good mold. Easy to unmold, pretty easy to get the eyes into if you're going to be doing eyes like I did. It does have a couple nostril spots where you can fill in with a marker of some sort, and his mouth as well. I may just do his nostrils, but not the mouth. I may do it both. I don't know. I'll get pictures of all of that. But this is it for as far as video is concerned. Again, thank you, subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. It's free. Look at those intense chameleon, maple red. Okay. See ya for the next one. Wow.